Hello, YouTube. Well, welcome you all back to a very exciting and special edition of Cooking with Denoy. Actually, in this case, it's not going to be cooking with Denoy. It's going to be more like eating with Denoy and his friend, Trailname Ace. Thought I'd introduce you all to one of my best friends ever. We've known each other since high school, or even before that. Actually, yeah, it was high school. Yeah, this is my friend, Trailname Ace. And he's here to show us a really cool product. It's some kind of food saver, and he's going to share with us how it works and the kind of things that you can do with it. And we're going to be eating this meal. What is this meal that you've got prepped in here?
This one here is chicken with Thai chili sauce, Thai peanut sauce. And I thought I grabbed a second chicken with Thai peanut sauce, but I think this is a new recipe I'm playing around with, doing chicken with butter noodles. But I do a lot of hiking. And much like van life, lightweight and compact features are something that's very important with hiking and backpacking. So I started creating my own hiking meals, because typical camp meals tend to have a lot of bulk to them and they're quite expensive. I source as many of my own organic or green ingredients as possible when I'm creating my meals. And my average meal still only costs me about $3. They fold up to next to nothing. I use freeze-dried and dehydrated ingredients, and then I vacuum seal them in these pouches. And you'll see in a little bit that what we do with these pouches is we pour near boiling water into them, stir it up, let it sit for 10 or 15 minutes, and then your meal is ready to go. So that's the challenge I've faced with creating each of my recipes, is in finding ingredients that are not only freeze-dried, that will taste good, but will also rehydrate quickly in water that's cooling off. So I have a bunch of different recipes on my channel, and I try to come up with new ones at least once or twice a week, because it gets, or once or twice a month, because it gets a little boring eating the same meal every day. So I've got several meals now that I carry when I'm backpacking.
So all these meals you have made yourself, right?
Yep, that one's open.
Oh, sorry.
I'm using that as a demonstration.
Oh, you're gonna show us how it works here. So you buy like the ingredients, like just different components, different ingredients that you're gonna mix yourself.
Correct.
And you're gonna be showing people how to do that on your channel.
Yeah, my episodes on my camp meals show exactly what ingredients to use, what proportions, and how to put them together.
And this food saver here is what you're going to be using to seal it up so that people can just carry it around and open it up whenever they get hungry?
Yeah, that's correct, because having watched enough of your channel, I started realizing there's a lot of crossover between van life and backpacking life. For example, I saw your episode showing your sleeping bag that takes about as much space as my whole backpack. Like, for example, this is my 30-degree sleeping bag.
Wow.
And it's rated for 30 degrees, but I've slept in it in the teens and been warm.
Wow.
So,
and it's very small.
Compact, it's lightweight, and it's not expensive. That's one thing about my channel is I'm always looking for cost-effective but high-quality camping and backpacking gear. This one, I think it runs between $30 and $50.
Wow.
For
not too bad.
a 30-degree bag that weighs next to nothing and takes up no space.
Yeah, for a van dweller, something small like that would be very, very, very useful. All right, let's go ahead and I'm hungry.
So anyway, yeah. So this is what it looks like when it's done, and I make up a bunch of at once, and I've got some that I've stored for 2 years, and I've just pulled, I just pull them out at random. So they have a long shelf life because it's all freeze dried and vacuum sealed.
Okay, so what makes this better than like using like a Ziploc bag or something to seal it?
Well, because Ziploc bags, they always have air in them, and so they take up more space. And vacuum sealing, it sucks all the moisture and all the air out of the bag, whereas a Ziploc bag, it traps some air in there. So there's a potential for moisture to get in there and cause some of the ingredients to get some of that moisture and start to go rancid. This is vacuum sealed, and I always double seal it so that air can't get in there. Heat doesn't matter. They can get wet, and it doesn't matter. They take up less space. It stays dense, so it's not shifting around.
Right.
but I've had food last years in these. I have some in my emergency supplies for hurricanes.
So, like if you had access to like power, well, that's the thing though. This thing does require.
Yeah, I've got the food saver hooked up to the inverter in your van.
Okay, so.
And it only takes 120 watts.
So the unit only requires 120 watts. Little Blue can generate up to 750 watts here with the inverter system right now. As you can see, we've got it plugged in and it isn't using any power. So we got 0 right now. Are you going to go ahead and turn that on and let's see how much power it draws?
You want to see the draw or you want to see it work?
Turn it on and then, I mean, you could turn it on and then do it after, right?
Well, I can open it again and reseal it.
No, I mean, just turn it on and then just seal it. But
well, no, it's plugged in. It doesn't draw power until I use it. So
oh.
I'll seal it so you can show the power.
Okay.
Okay. Well, no, I'll seal it, and then I'll just run it empty, and you can see the power.
Okay. He'll show us how it works, and we'll see if the Blue dies.
Once you get everything in your bag, and I cut my bags down a bit because they're actually quite larger, but you pour near boiling water into this to cook it. They are rated for near boiling water, and they are BPA free, so you won't get the toxins leaching out of the plastic that you do with a lot of other plastic products.
So let me get this straight. You basically got all the different ingredients. In
everything,
this case, the noodles,
the noodles, the chicken, all the spices and everything.
Now, where do you buy like all this stuff?
I buy them on Amazon.
Okay, so you buy all this stuff that's dehydrated, and then you remix it to make food.
Yeah, I put it all together in as in a recipe. Just missing the water.
Okay.
And then to prepare him for backpacking, you slide it into the open end of this trough here. You close the lid, and over here, there's 3 settings. There's open, which when you flip this, it allows it to open the lid. This is store, which locks it down, and then this goes into operate mode, and it shows the power light. And then all you do to seal this is you press the vacuum and seal button, and it sucks all of the air out, and you can hear it crunching. That's how much force it has in creating that vacuum.
Wow.
And now this red light here shows that it's sealing the bag.
So it's heating it up right now?
It's heating up the plastic to create that air seal. And now, when you open this, you can hear it releasing all the air it just sucked out, and you've got a meal fairly flat that takes up no space.
Wow, let me see that. It's pretty cool. And you can reuse the bag?
Yeah. Well, once you pour the water in it, you don't really want to reuse it. You can wash it and reuse it for something smaller. But yeah, I've got some that I've used over and over, like some of my ingredients. When I open up the can, I put them in a big bag and I just vacuum seal them. And every time I just keep sealing the bag.
That's pretty cool. But the bags come like on a long tube or something? Is that what they do?
You can get them in a long tube. You can also get them in prepackaged pouches. These are 1 quart size. They're generally about this big. And I cut off the top part, and I create different pouches from those for carrying jerky or trail mix or something like that. Quick snacks that I keep in my belt pouch on my backpack.
That's pretty cool. Now I'm eager to have a taste. Can we do that?
Yeah. So you've been boiling the water while we were...
Yeah, we had some water that we boiled in Blue's inverter system while we were driving up here, using obviously the rice cooker. For those of you who are familiar, let me touch it. It is still hot, warm. It's been sitting here for about 10-15 minutes, or even maybe a little bit longer. I'm gonna try to take it out. It is not hot, but it is warm, and hopefully it's still warm enough. Try to get this out of here. This is just water that we have boiled it when we were driving up here, but it's been sitting here for a while. All right.
Is that warm enough?
Is it warm?
Yeah, it'll probably do.
Or do we need to heat it up again?
Do you want to heat it up again?
Do we want to heat it up again? Let's heat it up again a little bit.
Heat it up a bit. You don't want it to boil though.
Okay, we're going to heat the water back up because it cooled down a little too much. Alright, I've got the rice cooker hooked back up and on high mode. So we're using the inverter here, the inverter cooking system, and you can see it's pulling 305 watts because that's what it's about 300 watts for the rice cooker. So we're just going to let it heat up for a few minutes to heat the water back up, because it cooled down during this whole time we were sitting here trying to talk about what we were going to film. So hang on just a moment and we'll heat up the water and then have our brunch. All right, the inverter with the rice cooker has been heating up, and you can see the water is now warm. It is steaming a little bit, but not boiling. And Trailname Ace was just telling me you really don't want the water to boil because the bags aren't rated for boiling water. So you just want it hot, but not boiling hot. So we're gonna go ahead and shut the system off and take the water over there and add it to the food. And try to shut this guy off here. So the inverter is now off. And now it's a matter of taking the hot water. And he's gonna try to add it to the food packets and see if we can't get the food to rehydrate. I'm curious as to what it's gonna taste like. This can be very interesting. All right.
All right, so with these, I generally start with about 3/4 of a cup of water per. Oh.
Are you burning? Is it hot? Do you need this?
No. I just spilled a bit. But you'll find yourself occasionally needing to add more, just because you want the chicken to hydrate properly.
So you're just pouring it right into it?
Just pouring it right into the bag, and then I'll use a spoon to stir it up, and you want to make sure that chicken gets down into that water. This is Mountain House freeze-dried diced chicken. They have a ground beef as well that I used. It's what I started with, but the chicken actually I think I prefer more because when it's done, it tastes like it's chicken fresh out of the oven. It doesn't have the consistency of something that was ever freeze-dried. But yeah, just sit and let it hydrate for about 10 or 15 minutes, and then it's ready to eat.
Wow. Looks interesting. I wonder how it's going to taste.
Well, I when I'm coming up with my recipes, really honestly, they're the only things I eat until I nail down the ingredients and the amounts to where it tastes like something I would want to eat on the trail. So generally speaking, I've never had anybody complain about any of my meals. I've had kids complain about them because they didn't like the vegetables in my meals. But generally speaking, people like what they're tasting.
Wow, well, it looks very, very interesting. Now, how much does it cost per packet roughly for something like this?
Generally speaking, my meals run me about $3.
$3 a meal?
$3 a meal. Now I've done some special recipes for vegans. I've done gluten-free. I've done people that are on keto, and the more specialty the diet, the more expensive it gets. The vegan one was actually quite expensive, but it ran at about $5.50 to $6 a meal. But still, in all, considering that camp meals generally start at $8 if you're going to the store and buying a camp meal.
Right.
$8 to $12 is what you can expect to spend on a meal. So
wow,
I'm saving a ton of money, and I know what I'm eating, and I'm in more control of what I create.
Wow.
Like I'm working on new recipes right now that will just increase the versatility and the variety out in the woods.
Wow, this certainly looks interesting. And I don't know if you guys remember, we went by the camping section in like a prior episode quite a while back, and those meals do cost a lot of money, and they seem to be smaller than these packets, actually.
Well, and they tend to be really high in sodium as well.
So this, you actually know exactly what's going in there.
I know exactly what's in it because I generally source basic ingredients. I don't usually use things that have a ton of different ingredients in them.
Now those ramen noodles you stuck in there, they just cheapo regular ramen noodles?
These are, yeah, because I was preparing these for a buddy of mine, and he didn't want to spend the money on the ramen noodles that I use. But even the ramen noodles I use, these were about 17 cents. The ones I use are organic. They run about 90 cents.
Wow.
So you're still not that expensive.
So this is a good way for those people who are on like a special diet or something.
Yeah.
To make sure that
exactly
even
what
if they're
they're
out-
eating.
Mm-hmm. Not having to buy all the stuff with all the salt and everything in it.
And I mean, if you've got shore power or somebody to let use their kitchen for an afternoon, you can prepare, you know, a month or two's worth of meals in one sitting, pack it up and go. And the food saver itself doesn't take up much space either.
Mm-hmm. So this is something you do like basically you'd have all your food laid out and then you would prepare it for the week or the month or even a year or whatever.
Well,
like
yeah,
you're a prepper or something.
When I go hiking, you know, I generally go for 4 to 6 days at a time, and I've learned that when I'm out there, I only eat one actual meal a day, and I snack the rest of the day. So on a 4-day trip, I'll still pack 6 to 7 meals, because you never know if it's a hard day if you're going to want to eat lunch and dinner.
Mm-hmm.
So you know, everybody I'm hiking with, we'll all get together and we'll have a vacuum sealing party, creating our meals and making sure everybody's ready to go. We vacuum seal our trail mix, our jerky, everything, because one big thing for us is when we're out in the woods, we don't want bears coming up to our camp. Which happened on my last section.
Yeah, I thought you had an incident with a bear trying to eat you guys.
We got harassed by a bear for a couple of hours.
And you're sure it was a bear, not a skunk ape?
No, it was...
Hey,
well, you laugh.
You were in Florida, right?
You laugh, but we
You were
found
in
trees
Florida.
that had been broken to block the trail, and it was just one tree. So we joked that it might have been Bigfoot blocking the trail, but
Yeah.
no, we
because,
know
you
it was a bear because it was making bear sounds.
How do you know skunk apes don't go rah?
It's not the sound it made.
Oh, that was me. Never mind. All right, are we done yet, or we still got time here?
Well, let's see.
It's been about 5 minutes.
Nope, this chicken needs to hydrate a little bit longer.
Okay, so I'm gonna pause the camera because I don't think you guys want to just sit here and watch food hydrate.
It's like watching paint dry.
All right.
Yeah, I generally do this. Yeah, I make my camp meal, then I go to set up my tent and unpack and everything, and by the time camp is ready, food is ready.
All right. Well, this certainly looks very, very interesting. And we'll come back here in a few minutes once the food is hydrated and do a little taste test. All right, it's been a few minutes, and
It looks like it's about ready. The more you stir it and the more you get things like the chicken is the most important thing. The more you stir it to make sure the chicken stays submerged, the less likely you are to get some that didn't quite rehydrate.
what happens if you eat the pieces that aren't rehydrated? Do they go inside and suck all the juice out of you?
Well, yeah, they'll rehydrate in your belly and you just drink more water.
All right, so let's see what yours. What is this one you made called?
This one is one I've been playing with that I didn't mean to grab. This is the chicken with butter noodles.
Ah, okay, chicken with butter noodles.
I've actually not tried this one yet. I threw it together and vacuum sealed it accidentally, but
Well,
so we'll see.
don't puke it on me. How was it?
Oh wow, it's almost there. First time out of the box, it's almost there.
Wow.
Well, first time out of the bag.
Now mine. What is this?
This is the chicken with Thai peanut sauce.
Okay, can you stir that for me just a little bit?
Yeah, you will want to. The more you stir it, the more you'll mix up the sauces too, so you get the intended flavor.
And I noticed most of the water's gone, so the water's been absorbed into all this stuff.
Yep. The noodles will try to get all the water first. That's why you want to keep it stirred to make sure the chicken has enough chance to get as much water as possible.
So have you tried making this stuff with rice?
No, I tried making a rice pudding for dessert, but quick cooking rice is kind of nasty.
What happens if you have rice that you already cooked and then you just seal it like that?
No, there's a chance it'll go bad.
Oh, really?
That's why you want it to be dry.
So it has to be dried.
Yeah.
So you'd have to cook
But
the rice, dry it back out. You'd have to recook it again.
But yeah, if you've ever eaten minute rice, I don't think I know anybody that's a fan of minute rice.
Yeah, it tastes terrible.
So I tried using barley and it didn't hydrate quickly enough. So I have a recipe on a It's a rice pudding that it doesn't have rice in it. It's actually really keto friendly, but it has the rice pudding flavor and consistency without the rice. So I was able to get that. But yeah, noodles. I've done dried cauliflower, and I've even done freeze-dried shredded potatoes they actually work out pretty well as well. I haven't found a rice that will be pouch friendly yet.
Okay, so that's the quest for the pouch-friendly rice. I'm gonna go ahead and try this out. Looks interesting. Oh no, this is good.
You want me to hold the camera for you?
Oh no, I'm good.
All right.
All right, let's take our first bite of this. This looks very interesting. I've never had anything like this before. Maybe I have. It's supposed to be, what did you call it? Thai chicken with peanut sauce?
Sure.
All right, here we go. Mmm. Oh my gosh. It does taste really good.